Toxic Gamers, this is your friendly neighborhood GM, Froiki, aka Ron. So, being a new channel, we're still figuring out our ups and downs and our little tricks of the trade. So we ran into a small mishap on our first session. Unfortunately, we can't recreate it because the authenticity in what happened is just too good to pass up. So this is sort of a small snippet of what happened, followed with, I believe we had an end video once we figured out our little problem.
Yeah.
So
something about want some fuck.
Basically, after the synopsis, it's going to clip into the next part of the campaign, essentially.
Yeah.
So the long and short of it is, all of our travelers came to the Crossroads of Power, otherwise known as Halmirad. I want to make sure I get the name right because that's important. But they got to the Crossroads of Power of Halmirad. Along their travels, they didn't really notice when it happened or how it happened, but the world became muddled and gray. Turns out that they all found their way into the veil between the mortal realm and the gods. There was also some backstory that was missed out on, where about 30 years ago, longer than any of our adventurers have lived to see, but the gods used to be more involved. Something happened that they became sealed away, trapped, and the realm kind of fell to ruin. Most people actually now hate religion and gods, and they actually will persecute and go after those who still believe. But while they were in the Vale, they came across an owl man named Olkadan. Olkadan was a friendly soul and a friendly spirit who was just curious how they got there. Our angsty little dragonborn with a chip on his shoulder almost wanted to throw hands, but the first one to actually get eyes on him was our ever hungry satyr fuckboy, who came running up saying he wants a snack.
In more ways than one.
Oh my.
When he decided to stop going after the Owlman because the Owlman was just sleeping on a fountain, he tried kicking in a door, which actually woke up the Owlman. And because he is actually a god in a former sense and in a different realm, he picked up on everyone being there and actually called everyone out and brought everyone to the surface. He tried having a conversation with the Dragonborn, who at every turn just kept saying, "Don't talk about my goddess," or "You know nothing about me," or "Ugh, I'm angry at the world."
He basically has a stick up his ass.
I just wanted a snack.
I'm not
And
on
then-
the
I'm gonna roll
snack.
to kill this fucking satyr again.
And that was a lot of what was about to happen
Yeah.
in the first one.
Fine.
Fail.
Never mind.
There was a small snippet of
I
conversation
win.
with our Kitsune. Primarily just kind of explaining that they were on the Veil. They all have a touch of godhood in somewhere around them, in some way, shape, or form. They don't know how or what brings it on. And I believe our video cut off right after our satyr friend
Said
placed
that he
placed
wanted
his hand.
to fuck.
Yeah, placed his hand on this owl man's ever so supplely sculpted shoulders. Put one of his thumbs into his suspenders, and even though I gave a description that the owl man had these really big brown eyes, he, for whatever reason, looks off at our Kitsune, who has describe it for me
Crystal
again.
blue.
Crystal blue eyes. So just picture tall ass goat man
That's like 6 foot, like whatever.
holding the shoulder of an owl god with a thumb in his suspenders. Want some fuck?
To a
so-
tiny little 4
Chuck
foot
is not the
wide
brightest.
soon.
to say the
But
least.
he is the best.
So, and I believe that's where our problems ended. We do have a small snippet of what happened after the session where they got out of the Veil. It's not going to be the longest video, but it kind of gives you an idea of how everyone's been carrying on or up to that point. So hopefully this doesn't happen again. We apologize for the inconvenience, but hey, learning the ropes.
Yep.
So y'all stay toxic. Hit the like button, subscribe. Let us know. We're also testing out different camera angles. So if this works better for you, let us know.
And a cool table. We finally upgraded. We are now in chairs.
Cheers!
Just let us know if you guys want to see us do something a little bit different with the how our setup is. You know, guys, as much as we are here to have fun, we also want you guys to be able to enjoy the fun with us. If you guys have any ideas, let us know. Leave us a comment in there, and always don't forget to hit that bell icon so you know whenever we're getting ready to upload our next video for our D&D Escapade. Stay toxic, gamers.
Sure.
Alright, so we're picking back up with you rolled a 6,
Alright.
getting a 9 in total,
Oh, to revise, I want to fuck this owl.
and you look into these
You said
pretty crystal blue eyes. You have one hand on this guy's shoulder. You have the other one in your thumb in your suspenders. But you look into these pretty little crystal blue eyes.
Damn it. It's gonna be you.
the other one.
You want to fuck? Want some fuck? To which Olgadan chuckles. Quite forward you are. What you two do is on your own.
What?
I knew.
I
No,
don't-
you. What is his name?
Olgadan.
Oh, bird guy. Owl.
He chuckles some more. Sorry, my friend, but I do not think you could handle me, and you're not my type.
Oh, worth a try.
You want to throw a safe throw?
He's a god. Ancient male dragon had nothing on a god.
Safe throw.
Alright, so with that being said, so he's kind of gone over the fact that you're in the Veil. This has a touch of godhood. He's like I said, he's said that you clearly have ties to the godhood, being so close to your deity. You actually have an aura of godhood to you already, something that's unbeknownst to you entirely up until this point, and you have some tie to it. He just can't quite pinpoint where or what. So he goes on to explain that generally the only people in the Veil, as we call it, is people tied to this godhood. People who have some sort of tie to it that allows you to come and go. People who are complete deities, such as myself, I can't get out of it. I'm stuck here until godhood is released back into the world, at which point I can roam freely again. I've met a few others like myself, but we're not very many.
What is it that holds you here?
I do not know. To be honest, when this all started 30 years ago, I remember coming across several adventuring groups talking about slaying deities, or some others that talk about pursuing godhood themselves, and others who, your typical adventurers. They want glory, they want gold, they want women, they want power beyond all measure. And then this happened. I can only imagine one of the groups managed to do what they were aiming for.
So it was a blasphemy that started this.
But blasphemy is really in the eye of the beholder. I mean,
I like chaos.
precisely, my friend. Can you do me a favor, though? While I enjoy good friendly embraces, your hand's been here a very long time. And he kind of waves to your hand on his shoulder.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, just nice shoulder.
I grew it myself.
Witty.
So,
Blasphemy is not so general as you explain. It's anything that defies the gods.
but what if...
And anyone who seeks to become a god, who is not born of godhood or granted godhood by natural means.
You know, where I come from, there are deities who lash out on other deities. They demand the death of one, but that there are other deities who would consider it blasphemous for that one to be killed.
Those deities lack law, order.
Maybe they just wanted to taste each other.
Shut up, Satyr.
I'm starving.
Believe it or
Really
not,
horny.
Satyr, I am going to cut your arm off and feed it to you, and you will
enough,
stop.
Enough. There's no need for threats or violence here.
Do not cut me off, Owl. I do not know who you are yet.
Beat his
I
ass.
do
Guys,
not understand.
You all are pretty.
I'm
Shut
going to
up.
draw my weapon.
I know I'm gorgeous.
As I said before, you remind me of my brother.
Too violent.
In short, or to close up whatever this conversation could be,
It could be great many things.
Satyr, you're going to be killed.
I believe the three of you may be tied in some way to each other.
I will not be tied to this fucking satyr.
Do you mean by food?
This satyr's dying.
I am not food.
Damn it.
I am going to.
You can help me find food.
As long as you promise not to eat me.
I am going to
Deal.
roll
Take
for
you down.
intimidation on the
Yes.
satyr.
Great many food.
He's rolling intimidation on you to pipe you down. You need to roll me a Constitution save.
What
Which
did I
is
miss?
20.
D20 plus your Constitution
What did I
modifier.
miss?
I'm tired of the satyr.
So roll your
So
D20.
you want him to shut up?
I want him to shut the fuck up.
Roll your D20.
13.
13 plus your intimidation, which is what?
I always roll 6 with this. Give me a new die. With what? What am I rolling it with? Constitution?
Yeah, Constitution.
Mine's a
modifier.
My
14.
intimidation is plus 2.
Mine's 14 plus 2. And I
So
rolled a
what is-
6.
16 and you.
Where's the
or-
other
oh,
one I gave you?
So you get an
Oh,
8.
are you
So
using this
yeah.
You can try using it.
So you're kind of joking around or having some level of jest with this conversation when you just feel these dark, beady little dragon eyes on you.
Dirty little bitch eyes.
and it kind of overwhelms you ever so slightly that you're just like, oh,
Fine. I just want food.
I'll be quiet for now. And that's kind of where it kind of puts you. You're hungry, and you're getting stared down super hard. But in the same moment, Okanen will start to talk to kind of lift the mood as well, and continues himself and says, whether you like it or not, there is something bonding the three of you. You all have some tie to godhood that could very well lead to the same result.
They're
I do not know what brings you here, or what your journey entails, but
Big booty bitches.
for your sake, my friend, I hope you're right. In the meantime, I do not see much more knowledge coming of this conversation. I think I'll take my leave now.
finally.
And his wings go full galore, and
Please tell me it knocks Mike upside down.
Beautiful.
huh?
Knock him upside down.
I caress one as he flies off.
Well, Michael was close enough, and technically, based
Yeah.
on he's
As
right.
he flaps
But
them
he
open,
has
I want to
match full
caress them.
control over them, and being
Fuck.
the kind of deity that he is,
Please hit Michael.
they go full galore, and he goes up. Now the odd thing is as he shoots up in the air, you know, there are just a mountain of feathers that are surrounding you all.
I grab one.
And in that moment, you would think, like, literally this many feathers, he can't have anything more to his wings, but his wings are still completely full. And then the wind tunnel that picks up as he kind of goes off begins to encircle you all, and before you know it, all you can see is a wall of feathers just circling around you until finally there's a blue sky.
Oh, fuck
The
you
sun
for
is-
getting me out of here. I never
I
even
wanted
got.
to be in here. Oh, that place with no food? Yeah!
I never got to see inside the houses. The fuck?
But there's a blue sky, the sun's beating down. You actually hear the chatter of people and townsfolk.
Fucking food.
You hear the chatter of townsfolk. And then from behind you, well, actually, yeah, from behind Michael over here, there's a man who comes walking up, and in a real Western accent, he says, or he calls out to you, "Hey, I've never seen you youngins here before. Sentries didn't report anyone. Explain yourselves now. And he comes walking up. You turn around to his voice. Standing before you is not just one man, though.
God damn it. If it was one person, I was gonna stab Snake.
Bear in mind, you're in a town full of people like this.
I know, I was gonna kill him in front of everyone.
So we'll say he's gotten up to about right here.
Oh, fuck. No, I'd have to kill them all to eat one person.
The food will have to wait.
Fuck.
So, walking up to you is a man standing about 6 feet tall, again, because that's my favorite number at this point for heights. I want to give you the proper description I wrote down for him, which isn't in this one.
Serious. I will not cut this out.
That's fine, buddy. That's not This is going to be of real interest to Sabishi. So standing before you at 6 feet tall is a man with a wide-brimmed hat that has a bandolier of bullets along it, a brown leather mask that is very well form-fitting. He has a black scarf that covers pretty much what would be like the bottom of his chin downward.
Hey there, Aaron Black.
Why do you
Shut
keep
up.
staring at me while you're describing him? Are you
'Cause
trying to
you're-
deter me from killing him?
You are the one who's gonna sit there and fuck this up. But yes, no. For copyright reasons, this is not Aaron Black, but he looks just like Aaron Black with his fingerless gloves, black leather vest, and
Oh,
everything.
you're just making him more appetizing.
Just because you can't play with Aaron Black doesn't make him more appetizing.
I just want to know.
So, but he's the one who's walking up, and he's the most distinct. He's actually doing the little pistol spinning.
Oh, he needs to die.
He's doing a little pistol spinning with
Can we
his
kill
other
him?
hand.
Let's team up.
With his other hand on his other revolver, and then across his back is actually, you can see the butt of a rifle. But following behind him is 5 other people. You recognize one of them.
Hmm?
You're gonna pick him up real quick because you're gonna know the face because it was a poster in your hometown.
Oh boy.
You're gonna know the face of one of them,
Fuck.
and you're gonna know all of them. So we'll start with the one that you're gonna notice real quick because it's not really a face you're gonna pick out of the crowd. It's a mask. This person was on the wanted posters named Zazella the Glare. She is a breed of ASMR that's actually not very widely known, or they're not many in number. They're actually very, very few. You would have this knowledge that she's a scourge ASMR. Her skin looks like the sun.
Hmm?
And in a moment of rage, she's actually able to flare up to blind her enemies for a
She's
turn.
like an elemental.
Kind of, but she's an ASMR. So whenever she's not forcing it to happen, her skin is just very bright, it glows. But when she's in combat, the whole purpose is that she can flare up and dazzle her opponent or something.
You look like a treat.
But she's a paladin. You've seen the posters of her mask. Unfortunately, I don't have her description well thought out in front of me, but essentially, she has the generic description at the moment where she has, across her back, you see the handle of a sword. She has her cloak on, and then a mask. The mask is all you can really pick out of her. It's pretty much a sun design.
So she's wanted.
She's a wanted person in Heliod's domain.
No.
Nowhere else.
Curious. So I want to
How much is that bounty?
no. I want to intimidate all of them, essentially, almost, but mainly her, with me knowing who this person is, and me knowing that she's wanted, and therefore there's a bounty on her head.
They
So
all laugh
bad.
at you immediately.
Well, hold
I have a feeling they're strong and I can't use them for food.
Oh no.
Son of a
They
bitch.
are strong, probably.
Can I roll perception? for,
So
like, what's
here's why she's so famous in your town. Everyone knows she's wanted, And while at this point it's only really stories, some people say that, oh yeah, she's been killed. But a number of Heliod's actual soldiers, much like you were training to be, they've told you about the sheriff. They didn't really tell you much about the sheriff, but you've heard about the sheriff. He is the top of the line bounty hunter who has been contracted out by every single warlord to kill someone. And he always comes through. This is the only one he's never killed that you know of.
I want to roll for perception on my entire situation with this person. Whether I need to be safe, or whether I'm in a safe situation, or should I be ready for combat.
Okay. So this would be more...
Is that a 4?
I rolled a 17.
Okay. I was
So-
like, if that's a 4, lol.
Honestly, whatever the actual role should be, or whatever the actual skill should be, you know for a fact that with how old those posters were, these people have a wealth of experience that you know for a fact you don't hold a candle to. Even if Tiamat herself were to come down and bless you with all the strength in the world, you have nothing that's going to compare to some of these, to just these two. You've heard legend of the sheriff, and you've heard countless stories of the scourge at Asimar.
So bad that it makes me want to fight him more.
Oh,
It's so bad.
I'm gonna be ready to roll out.
Being friendly is your best bet, but at the same time, they do have an overwhelming, intimidating, and threatening presence to them. So play it how you will.
Got it.
But before we get to you actually playing it out, the one that you're going to kind of know, because you've been all around the Fey Wilds, well, there just so happens to be another one from there. And this was...
Is it a satyr?
Nope.
Oh.
Nordava the Hidden. Because again, you only know this one through wanted posters as well. Nordava the Hidden is a 6'3" rogue, or not 6 foot, a 6'3" high elf. Her face she's very linear in the face, higher pointed ears, long dark black hair.
What is she known for?
Well, she was wanted for acting out against Nylia, the warlord to the east that you just came from. Nylia never actually saw eye to eye with your people anyways, which is why your troop was just outside the Fey Wilds. But she spoke out and actually worked against Nylia.
So do I just know her, or is she on
You
them?
recognize her.
I recognize her.
You don't know her.
Okay.
Because you only know of the wanted posters. But she's sitting 6'3", and dark cloak all the way down, kind of covering herself up. She has one hand kind of poking out with a walking stick, almost like a cane. That is this really beautiful ebony wood walking stick.
That definitely has a weapon in it. There's no way in fuck it doesn't have a weapon in it.
But then, moreover, like I said, you know all of them. So just to go down the list of names at this point, you know the first two that I mentioned. You actually know the man walking up to you. His name is Hathcock. He approached your mentor many, many years ago with this group, trying to essentially get him to be a part of their cause. You were shooed away from the interaction for the most part, but you got a good look at and first-hand interaction with the sheriff. Along with the other two, you saw them face to face. But you also, in that same meeting, got to meet Prylius the Shore, which is a fishman. When he was walking around, you actually felt a little bit of static electricity in the air, almost like something was shocking you. You don't know where it was coming from. You got to meet Rasu the Arctic, which was really weird because that was a tiefling with beet red skin, but when he passed you, you got a shiver down your spine. It was blistering cold. It felt almost like negative whatever degree you choose, like you were about to be frozen over. And then last but not least, you also got to meet Vertrix the Overwhelming, which was a Goliath, a behemoth of a person who walks around for the most part not too dissimilarly dressed from your satyr friend now, but instead of booty shorts, cupping the package and really showing the world what he's got to work with, it's more or less baggy, tattered rags with two very distinct and very unique wrist guards. And he was someone who came across as very overwhelming and very powerful. And that this is the point where now you have your chance to think it over, what your next steps are going to be. But you're just being approached by all 6 of these characters. And we will pick up there next time. So, I'm not in frame. I'm probably going to stay right here anyways. Next time we will find out what our heroes are going to do as they're approached by the bounties, as they are so nicely known. If they're going to try to eat them, if they're going to try to fight them, or if they're going to rekindle friendships and see if maybe they'd make a better ally than enemy. Michael.
Why is it always me?
Michael.
Well, you did try to fuck the
Well,
owl.
what? Alright, but let's
not
be
only
honest.
fuck, he tried to make friends with, or no, he tried to eat, and then fuck.